shared our post on Reddit, and Captain Dirk here hit us up like, "Hey man, like I wouldn't mind being a guest. I'm old school Juggalo like you."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Cool man, we got this idea. Let's get you on. I mean, why not? You'll be the test run."
Good.
So what's cracking, man? How you been?
Oh God, it's been a lot lately. So, I've been doing my own podcasting as well and trying to dabble in making videos. And I'm trying to make a video about what's going on with Marilyn Manson because it's a lot to chew through, and I feel like nobody is being objective about this at all.
Okay. Oh, I'm interested.
I've
in
heard
that.
a little bit about that one.
So you're referring to the whole like him being a predator thing, like.
Him being an abuser specifically.
Yeah. I did listen to what was it? Or maybe I read an article when that first was like breaking a couple weeks ago, but I'm not super well versed on like what all is being accused, but
it's so much hearsay. Like there's two sides to this whole thing. Either it could be a situation where the American sweetheart that was Bill Cosby. It could be a situation where we find out that, oh shit, he actually did abuse the people that he was with. Or it could be another Johnny Depp scenario or another Michael Jackson scenario where the kangaroo court deems him guilty, but
yeah,
in reality, people lied.
sure. I'd be curious to see. I went to your YouTube page once you commented, and I the only video I watched was the one that you made because I was looking for a quick one. I seen the one you made that was 49 seconds long regarding animated tits, and that's my thing. So I had to.
My shit post. Yeah.
I had to click that. I was like, yeah, you're right. Animated tits do bounce. Good job. So that
Digitized tits usually do too.
yeah. So I appreciated that, but I did see the kind of content you're doing. You're making some videos where you're just like kind of breaking shit down, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah. It's like anybody could do what like shit like the quartering or like all these other channels that feel very grifty.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody's really backing up what they're talking about. So it's like when John Schaefer was turned himself into the FBI after storming the Capitol. It's like I could just talk about how he turned himself in, or I could actually look into the organization that he was involved in called the Oath Keepers and go in depth with what the Oath Keepers are actually about.
Okay, that's interesting. I feel like you and Carver would have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out your channel, man.
he's a very he's a, I don't know how to say. You're very open minded.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get into it much on this. On this. This is Juggalo shit. But yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you would.
How far I'd go into that stuff.
So what's going on, man? So tell us about how'd you get in ICP? What's your origin story?
Many moons ago. Do you remember a program called Music Match Jukebox?
Doesn't ring a bell.
So it's before the days of iTunes.
Okay.
This is the program that you would use if you wanted to copy music into your computer library and be able to listen to it digitally. But also, it was one of the first platforms where you could actually purchase digital music before you're able to do that through iTunes.
Okay.
I think I do
And
remember
it
that.
had a radio feature.
Okay.
So I grew up in a placement where I couldn't buy like an Eminem CD without having my mother throwing a fit for it.
Yeah.
And so I would use Music Match Jukebox's radio feature to listen to his music, and it would mix in all kinds of other artists that were similar to it. So what this has to do with ICP is that one day I was sitting down listening to a Limp Bizkit radio station on the program, and I noticed what's coming up next in on deck here, Insane Clown Posse, and the song comes up and it's Mr. Johnson's Head.
Okay.
So the Ringmasters version of it, and the song was so bizarre. It was a voice that I've never heard before, but the mixing and the beat that was created by Mike E. Clark was so drawing, so captivating to me that as soon after I finished listening to the song, I had to go downstairs for dinner, but that beat kept looping over and over again for me, and it stuck.
That
And
is a good one.
Yeah, it was completely memorable for me. It was something different, bizarre, like, and I wasn't really that much of a hip hop listener either
Sure,
way.
you're a
But
biscuit head.
I mean, yeah, it was like I grew up under a severely religious household,
Oh.
so I had to discover music on my own.
Well, then, so wait, how old were you then? This time?
I was 14.
Okay, so that's the same age I was when I discovered ICP. It was around Malenko time though. What was out? Like what was the Joker's card out around that time?
It was the Wraith Shangri-La.
Okay.
So yeah, and then the next thing I know, it's like I'm pulling up the Insane Clown Posse radio station and listening to it through there.
So
And
you had a
eventually
lot to
I'm like,
pull up by that point.
yeah. Eventually, I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta just fucking buy a CD. So I go to the Sam Goody at the local mall that we had, and the next thing I know, I'm taking bike rides all the way out to Sam Goody just to figure out what ICP album I want to purchase and build a collection. And it started with Malenko, but then it went to Jekyll Brothers and then Bizarre, and like I was just collecting over time and seeing what all was out there.
Yeah.
And around that time, I was also discovering Twisted.
Okay.
And like you guys we're talking about Freak Show. That was actually the first album from Twisted that I listened to as well.
Okay. Cool.
That was a lot of Juggalos first.
What was Freakshow?
Yeah, Freakshow.
Yeah. I think Twisted's probably a little more accessible for most people, like as a casual, even if you're a casual rap fan. Especially around the time you got into them, like ICP probably are, they've always had a stigma, but especially around then, they were popular enough to where most people you mention it to knew who ICP were. So there was always like a little bit of like, okay, here, what's your favorite band? Okay, here goes, like ICP. Yeah. But
That's
no-
how it was for so long.
yeah, I mean, it's honestly still like that. When people are like, what kind of music you're into? I was like, I always got like, fine, it's ICP, and just,
Nowadays it's half and half because you got half the people don't even know him now.
yeah, that's true. I mean,
a lot of people, a lot of younger people out there don't even know him.
it's like around that time though, especially the Wraith
Yeah.
era, like they were popping so hard that like everybody knew who they were. So it's an interesting time to become a Juggalo.
They were about like the equivalent to like Master P or something.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Everybody knew Master P. It was ICP was kind of like that.
Yeah, ICP, Master P, man.
There you go.
Well, you mentioned about Twisted being more accessible. Our local rock station has started playing Twisted with their new single.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, interesting. They our look. What part of the country are you from?
I'm from Iowa.
Okay. Yeah, we have a rock station here that I think like the Rose Petal song was on every rock station does it where they do like a choose it or lose it or whatever. Like it was on that shit, like getting voted on every night and shit. But I mean, I didn't pay much attention to it because one, I didn't really care about the song, but
Like a Twisted song?
yeah,
Like recently?
yeah, this is within the past year, I'd say.
Did not know that.
Believe it or not, as of this moment, are you familiar with Oh the Horror?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
I only know them cursory because I've seen like them pop up in my Twitter feed and shit. But it's a rock band that's Halloween themed that is on MNE. If you didn't know, Carver,
I did not know.
they are fucking horrible. I watched a couple of their videos. It's so bad. But but they're right now today they're like on the choose it or lose it thing for
Wow.
and they just beat like System of a Down the other day or
I
some
guess
shit.
it's okay. So I guess what they're doing is working. They're playing to get like radio play,
Yeah.
and mainstream exposure.
Seems to be that way. I don't
It
know.
seems to be working because I know they, everybody kind of said that's the route they were going when they were doing the festival
Yeah.
a few years back.
So Captain Dirk, where do you fall on the ICP Twisted beef?
Oh God. I think hip hop feuds are so fucking lame. Like I totally like picked a side with the Eminem and ICP beef,
Sure.
but then I grew up and like you start to realize like, well, what's the fucking point with this? Like, sure, maybe they're making some good songs off of it. Like Cypress Hill had that going on for them.
Sure.
And like, and I like some of the songs that ICP did about Eminem. I mean, Please Don't Hate Me was pretty classic, but really it's like when you get into rap feuds, you run the risk of making music that ages like milk. And so, as to where I am about the feud, I mean, ICP said that they wanted to move on, but then at the same time, not too much longer after, they come out with a song where they're dissing MNE. Last I heard, Madrox gave ICP props and said that they hope they're doing all right. So
Okay.
it's hard for me to want to pick a side because I've met Paul, I've met ICP, and they're amazing people to be able to talk to. And like I got to hear about how Paul was friends with Eminem before they hooked in with ICP.
Okay.
So it I really I don't want to feed into the feud.
Sure.
If but the real hip hop tragedy though is that we're never going to get another Dark Lotus.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, you'll get Twisted's version of Dark Lotus, whatever the fuck they're doing over
Oh,
there.
fuck that. Okay, okay. You know what?
That's where you draw the line.
If I have to pick a side, I will pick ICP because I do think that Twisted fucked them over.
Yeah.
And then
I guess it just comes down to like the type of people you would rather be around. The camp of Twisted or the camp of ICP. It's more of like picking personalities than it is music. Both of the music is good. Both sides make good music.
Yeah, but then you bring Otis into it. Dude, fuck Otis.
I mean, I think he can spit, but I'm not like a fan of his or anything. But
yeah, like just hearing about what happened with Violent J's family through regarding Otis, it's like, why would you try to fuck your boss's niece?
yeah,
Like it's just I think the guy's gross, but
some people are
but
just
also,
scumbags, man.
but I think what
Doesn't
Twisted
matter.
was doing was a business move.
yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone at length talking about it personally. I was just curious where where you fall, because it is it's just one interesting thing that like, it's just always up in the air, like with Juggalos, and like, not that it matters. Like if you would have said like, oh, I'm Team Twisted all the way, no, I would not have given two fucks. But it was just a curiosity thing. Just I figured it was a decent thing to ask, because it's always interesting to know what reasoning people have for choosing one side or the other. I mean, personally, like I think it's safe to say we're both like Team ICP if you were to pick a team, but
Yeah.
but
I came in with the clowns. I'm going out with the clowns.
right, of course.
I only ever listened to ICP because they were with the clowns. When they left, I didn't care.
Yeah, you want to talk loyalty?
That's really what it is. And the classics they put on Psychopathic during the family era, I love.
Yeah, of course.
I
Of course.
love,
Dude,
but
with the way that Violent J treated my sister when he met her, I like that's gonna get absolutely nothing but respect for me.
Well, what
And
happened?
so-
Tell us.
Yeah. All right. So
Wait, so
you
did he?
remember
Wait, first of all, did he fuck her? I have to ask.
Nah, mate, she's married.
Okay, good.
But do you remember the Riddlebox 20th anniversary tour that they did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they came to Iowa City, and my sister and I decided, you know what, we're just gonna get the fucking VIP passes, and we can do the meet and greets with them. So there's only like I've met so many fucking bands and celebs. The only two times I've ever lost my shit were with Kevin Conroy and ICP.
Hell yeah, I'd love to meet
But-
Kevin Conroy.
But when we were outside, one of the road crew approached us and said, "Hey, you guys married?" Or like he's trying to figure out like gauge what's going on here, and said, "Well, look, we need someone for the Cemetery Girl segment." So she agrees, and so while we're doing the meet and greet, after they do the picture together, it somehow comes out that she was to be the Cemetery Girl, and Valen J goes, "You're the Cemetery Girl," and gets all fucking excited for her.
That's awesome. Yeah.
and just shoots the shit with her for a while. He at one point asked her, "So what's your favorite stuff that we've done?" And her answer legitimately was "Bang Pow Boom,"
Okay.
and that was enough to floor him, like, because he thought that he made some bad decisions with that record,
Okay.
and to have somebody reinforce like, "No, what you put out was actually really great."
yeah, that's weird that he thinks about that record like that when it's one of the. I mean, that record, in my opinion, could rank above some of the first six.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
that is
good.
a fucking great record.
We got Mikey. I mean, Mikey Clark is the common denominator there. You realize that?
Of course. But sometimes but it was also the Clowns. They hit a like a second wind on that with like the storytelling and the way they were rapping and stuff. But
okay, I can see that.
Where's Jay's mind? It's so hard to understand where he's coming from, and like we're on the outside we're on the outside looking in, and he's just it's hard to understand where he kind of sits with his own music and what they but you know how it is. It's just we put that out onto the next thing. That's usually how they have to look at it.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, the musicians are going to be pretty critical about what they put out. Like Kerry King has said that if he could do redo Diabolus and Musica, he would. Or like Dino Cazares of Fear Factory saying that, I don't like the idea that we did this rap, this like song that had a rap artist to it. It's some things are going to stick well with the audience, but the band is going to be like, I don't know.
yeah, I mean they're just throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks, man. Like
Fear Factory, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, I was never a Fear Factor guy, but nevertheless, like no one faults them for trying shit. Like, I mean, I want them to be experimental and try new shit. Just not everything's gonna be a fucking winner, man. Like, you can only write Great Milenko once. You know what I mean?
Well, what have your thoughts been so far for the second deck?
We've talked about it quite a bit on here. But for the most part, like, we're pretty into it. Like, we like what they're doing for the most part. Like, neither of us are really thrilled about Yum Yum's lore, to be honest. Like,
oh really?
It's okay, but I mean, but things have warmed up for us too. Like, not like personally, I didn't like Missing Link Lost the first time around, but I warmed up to it. Shit like that. But I obviously personally I think that the new deck is I don't think you can really recreate the first deck magic, so it's missing that for me. And I know a lot of that is just lost in time and nostalgia and shit. So I recognize that, but I think what they've been able to pull off with each album has been nothing to sneeze at. It's they've been doing a pretty good job for the most part.
Bang Pow Boom. I mean that's to me that record is a classic among the second deck. Fearless Fred was good. It's lost its luster for me since I've after that first year, but they've put out I mean I can't hate what they're putting out. The Missing Link was definitely left to be desired in my opinion. Not a fan of the lore, but I'm not gonna judge that on what the Joker's card is going to be, because they could surprise me and put out something I love. So.
Yeah, we're always going to be on board. You know what I mean? Like, we're always going to be there, but we're going to keep it real. That's kind of how we see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Fearless Fred Fury definitely resonated with me, especially being a Satanist. I think that like the more bizarre the music gets, the better it is. Yum Yum's lore has an example with that in some of their music. But like Mikey Clark definitely was like the third unofficial member of the band.
Yeah.
But he's sort of proof that it all boils down into like who's doing the production of the music. I mean, back during the Malenko days, like, you didn't have just Mikey Clark, but you had all these other guest musicians. You had Disney's money getting into the production of it. There was a lot more that ICP was able to do back then.
Sure, but Mikey Clark was even around for when they didn't have that. You know what I mean? And Ringmaster, Riddlebox, they were fucking classics before they were able to pop off. You know what I mean? So we can definitely attribute a lot of their original sound as they were making it to fucking Mikey Clark. And we sing his praises a lot on this show. We probably talk about Mikey Clark more than we talk about ICP, honestly. But
I'm more fascinated by Mikey Clark nowadays than I am even the Clowns.
Yeah, we've tried to get Mikey Clark to come talk to us on here, and almost had him, but kind of left me in the dust. We're gonna try again though. But
I mean, his solo stuff is fantastic too.
Yeah, I've listened to a lot of his solo stuff.
I don't think I've checked. Like you're talking about his rapping?
No, he'll do he'll release his own content here and there. Like I've been able to pull it up through Apple Music.
Okay.
He's had guests. I think he's got some other rappers that jump on his stuff. I think maybe he's put vocals on a couple songs here and there.
Okay.
I'm not.
He actually did his own cover of one of the old school songs.
I think he did a chicken hunt.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did a cover.
No, he did Piggy Pie.
Yeah.
That was it. You're right. You're right. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I was okay with that.
His what are they called? The Murder Mix, Mikey Clark Murder Mix.
Yeah.
Those albums are really fucking good. He's got some incredible mixes of some of the old classics on there.
Yeah.
Twisted.
Dude, volume 1, I love the remixes more than the originals.
Yeah, volume 1, yeah, man. It's I don't know if you've listened to those in a while.
I'll have to go back and listen. It's been a long time.
If you take volume 1 and volume 2 and pick out the best on there, you have a killer fucking mix that you can just play, and I mean, it's great shit.
I'll have to revisit that. I mean, I'm sure we'll revisit those on this show at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Captain Dirk, did you have anything other stories you want to share with us, or anything anything you can think of off the top of your head? Well, let me ask you this. I meant to ask you actually. What did your parents think then? Since once you did start wearing ICP shirts and shit like that, I imagine at some point it came to a head, right?
Oh, my father was furious anytime he would catch any kind of ICP record in my possession.
Yeah.
And like this was during my high school years. After high school, I still hid it from my parents for a good handful of years until eventually I became a little bit more comfortable with like, okay, if they see that I'm listening to one of their songs, it's not gonna be the biggest deal. He, like my father particularly has chilled out over time.
Okay.
But back during high school, like shit, I got in so much fucking trouble.
Well,
you said your family was religious?
Yeah.
Did you happen to show them thy unveiling and kind of say, hey, look, they're actually into God?
Yeah, they didn't care.
Well, I'd be more curious. Like, your parents are probably like, "All right, fine, we'll deal with him listening to this fucking devil music as long as he doesn't start worshiping Satan."
Well, that's
and
the
then,
thing.
God
It's
damn it,
like, that's the thing. It's like I get into Korn. My mother hates it. Dad doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Get into Metallica. Mother hates it. Dad doesn't give a shit. Led Zeppelin. Mother super hates it. Dad actually got me into it.
Okay.
It's weird.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I remember when I first got into him. Again, I was around the same age, 14. My mom wasn't thrilled. I was a pretty good student in school, like I was getting good grades and shit. And this kind of ICP kind of like, I don't blame them at all. I was becoming a little shithead teenager, and like they were just there at the time. But I started having a little attitude and shit. So my mom was just like, as long as he doesn't start wearing fucking shirts, and then a year later I have like 200 fucking ICP shirts. That's all
Isn't
I
that
wear.
the same thing with every other Juggalo? It's like you don't just stop with one fucking T-shirt.
Yeah, no, it's
you
impossible.
end up with a giant collection of them.
Yeah, always, man. That's just how it works.
They knew what they're doing, man. I mean, marketing geniuses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably how they made their first million, man.
I mean, it's just when you're young and you start listening to ICP, it just takes you over. I mean, everything. Like, you want to wear it. You want to live it, breathe it.
You want everyone else around you to also listen to it, feel it. Like, how come do you not fucking see what I'm seeing here? It's like, it's incredible, like to you that someone else doesn't understand it like you do, so
It's so incredibly niche, but if you're one of those people where it grabs a hold of you, it's like cigarettes. Like you're gonna get addicted to it.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I have them to thank for helping along my imagination and inspiration for doing what I do now.
Okay, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, that's one thing they're good at, man. They'll always have that inspiration. Like, no matter how they give it out, they'll give it out somehow. Whether it's just them talking, if the music does it. Like, they'll still give it out inspiration.
Oh, yeah. Always, man. So before I let you go, I'll ask you real quick. What's your favorite Joker's card?
Oh, shit, man.
Of either deck?
It typically goes between either the Ringmaster or the Riddle Box. But if I have to pick one, I'll go with Riddle Box.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer. We approve.
Yeah. Riddle Box, man.
It's good shit. What's your favorite song on Riddle Box?
12.
Ah, nice. Good choice.
I definitely love that song as well. That and Killing Fields, man. Those two songs.
You're speaking Carver's language over here.
Those two songs.
Yeah,
I don't think
like-
they've ever topped it as far as wicked like imagery.
Those guys are the crypt keepers of hip hop, and those two songs are proof of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Go back, check out our Riddlebox episode, man. We fucking like jerk off about Riddlebox for like an hour and a half. It's pretty fun.
And we
easy to.
break down the mathematical problem that's in 12,
Yeah.
I guess. I'd have to go back and listen to it again, but we did figure out the counting was a little wrong.
Yeah.
Or I guess it can be perceived that way.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Hell
All
yeah.
all right, Captain Dirk. Well, we're gonna let you go and then we're gonna get into Freak Show. But stick around in the chat if you want, hang out. We appreciate you coming to hang and being our first guest on this segment.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Plug your YouTube. What should everybody check out?
We are we are behind what is objectively the best gaming podcast out there, Super Arrogant Bros. Every week at 9:00 p.m. Central, we do a stream for it, and we're looking to switch to YouTube on it. But the Arrogant Media YouTube channel is where you're going to find all the content that I'm putting out. But
Okay. What are you streaming on then? Twitch?
at the moment, Twitch.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to be switching to YouTube soon.
Arrogant. What was it? Arrogant Music Bros. What?
Super Arrogant Bros is the main baby. What we have.
All right, that's cool, man. I dig it.
Arrogant
I love that you're the Super Arrogant Bros. I'm sure it's part of the joke, but you're objectively the best podcast or whatever. I get what
Yeah.
you're doing there. All right, Captain Dirk.
I'm gonna check you out.
Yeah,
I want to see some conspiracy theories.
yeah, man. Come back sometime.
Oh, we ranked them. We actually ranked them on an episode of the Plastered Paladins.
Okay, cool.
And hell yeah,
Check
bro.
that shit out.
But yeah, hang out sometime, and we'll hopefully have you back on sometime. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thanks again, man.
man.
Catch you later.
Yeah, see you guys.
Peace.
Whoa.
All right, that was cool. That was fun, right?
Yeah, man.
That was cool getting to know a new Juggalo. Like we never met Captain Dirk before that moment.
First time, first segment. Yeah, man. It's always cool to meet someone cool the first time because you never know. You know.
Yeah, you might get some. There's some Juggalos that you're like, oh fuck me, man. Why's he got to be a Juggalo? But then like there's Juggalos like Captain Dirk. Where you're like, God damn, man. There's some cool ass motherfuckers out here.